When's the last time you saw an episode of television that made you do the Martin Scorsese absolute cinema meme? For me, it was earlier this year, during an episode of Apple TV's excellent Hollywood satire, The Studio. And no, it wasn't the one that Martin Scorsese was in. The episode, titled The Oner, follows the chaos of a film crew attempting to shoot a technically ambitious, uninterrupted take, aka a oner, where in order for it to work, everything has to go right, but nothing does.
Perfect timing, Doug!
But by trying to show how impossible and chaotic it is to film a oner, the studio quietly pulls off the real thing. The entire episode itself is also a oner. By the time I realized I hadn't seen a cut in over 10 minutes, and that they were actually going to do this for the entire 25-minute runtime, I was absolutely giddy. Suffice it to say, it hit. Now you might be wondering, what's so special about a oner? Don't movies and TV shows do this all the time? Heck, Netflix's Adolescence came out the same month as the oner and they didn't even use stitches. Well, it only feels like a common technique because of how much attention they get from film nerds like myself who rush online to make video essays about them. Please don't look at the month that it currently is. On the contrary, over the history of Western cinema, shots have been getting shorter and shorter. Back in 2014, a psychologist calculated the average shot length for an English language film had shrunk to only 2.5 seconds. Here's a clip from 2025's Superman. Notice that there's a cut approximately this often. Now that's an average, so obviously some shots will be longer, but others will be even shorter. I don't bring this up to criticize, by the way. Editing is an essential component of filmmaking, arguably the thing that separates movies from live theater. With the right shots on hand, an editor can allow a scene's energy to ratchet up or down based on the pacing of the cuts. They can also take us across the world or into the past, create juxtapositions that speak to the deeper meaning of the story. But importantly, and at the most basic, an editor's job is to cut together the best possible takes so that we're only seeing the moments everyone nailed it. When you shoot a oner, the editor can't just cut together the best stuff. Everyone has to hit their marks over and over and over, no flubs allowed. Was someone talking in the background? Back to one. Did a studio exec walk into frame? Start the shot over. Film sets are already stressful, so you can imagine how much oners magnify that stress.
Cut!
And what's worse, the audience might not even notice you put in all this extra work, as Ike Barinholtz's character points out.
Oners are so stupid. It's just the director while making everyone else's lives miserable. Audiences do not care about this.
So why would you do a oner? Well, there's a couple of very good reasons. Because it's less of a hindrance than it is a trade-off. To start, a oner is kind of unparalleled in its ability to instill tension in the audience, then crank that tension up higher and higher as the shot gets longer and longer and longer. Cary Fukunaga cited that as a major reason for filming the famous 6-minute-long raid in season 1 of True Detective as a oner. Forcing us to sit with something stressful without ever leaving the action really compounds the suspense, that feeling that there's no escape. This is used to great effect in the studio, to communicate the stress on set of trying to get this shot while the sun is setting, and the fear that they're running out of time to do so. Oners also make a production feel more like theater, as mentioned, but sometimes that's the goal. If you can't fix it in post, then you have to rely on your skill as a performer to make the shot perfect, which some actors actually relish. You might need 12 takes to get there, but the excitement of realizing you absolutely nailed it is euphoric. Also, sometimes you do a oner because you can only afford one camera. It's not a common reason, but it's hilarious to me that John Wick made these incredible, widely celebrated creative decisions partially due to budget restraints. Movies are so cool. Also, shout out to The Vast of Night, several insane oners, basically no budget, innovative storytelling, please go watch it. But there's another reason to do a oner, my favorite reason, and it's articulated by Seth Rogen's character in the episode itself.
The oner is the ultimate cinematic achievement, you know? It's like the perfect marriage of artistry and technicality.
In essence, my favorite reason filmmakers do oners is because they're challenging to do. Making movies is hard. It's just about the most difficult creative undertaking that exists, requiring an entire team of dozens, often hundreds of people to work in tight coordination over the course of years, from the script's first draft to the final audio mix, while constantly reacting to major roadblocks like bad weather or losing permits, actors getting sick or dropping out, funding drying up, creative infighting, all with the ultimate goal of making all of this behind-the-scenes work utterly invisible, of making a singular vision that feels like it was absolutely effortless. The oner, in contrast, draws attention to itself. people do notice it, contrary to what Ike Barinholtz's cynical executive suggests. And as the camera rolls and weaves, and the scene goes on and on without a cut, suddenly we, the viewer, are thinking about all of the moving parts that had to fit perfectly into place to get the shot to work. We think about the crew, the actors, the director, and all they must have had to do to choreograph this cinematic ballet. In a sense, the Oner demands to be seen, crying out to the audience on behalf of the people who made it, hey, this was really hard, but we still made it, just for you. And in a time where AI threatens to take the humanity entirely out of film, I will always get excited that a group of people decided to go the extra mile to make something special, something that feels borderline miraculous, something that truly hits. So, did you learn anything? Or are you the cinephile waiting to pick this video apart? Let us know in the comments. And if you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like and subscribe.